If you're a developer, you've definitely seen it. AI coding tools have just exploded onto the scene. Things like GitHub Copilot and ChatGPT, they're not just toys anymore. They are changing the very way we write software. And all of this forces us to ask a really, really big question.
And this is it, isn't it? This is the question that's on every single developer's mind, whether you're a junior just starting out or a seasoned architect. Is this incredible new tech a partner, or is it here to replace us? So that's what we're going to dig into right now. Let's break down what the data is actually telling us.
And when you look at the data on adoption, wow, it's just wild. What's that number? Well, according to a recent Stack Overflow survey, that is the percentage of developers, a huge 84%, who are already using or are planning to use AI coding tools. This is not some far-off future thing. It's happening right now. And if you want to see just how fast this is moving, just look at the growth of GitHub Copilot. In only a few years, its user base has completely skyrocketed to 15 million people across more than 50,000 organizations. We are literally watching the developer's toolkit change in real time. All right, so what are these AI coders actually doing? Let's take a look at the real-world impact they're having on how we work every day. So, what does all this adoption really mean in practice? Two words: raw speed. Studies have found that developers who use an AI assistant like Copilot get their tasks done on average 55% faster. Think about that. It's like having this tireless pair programmer who can just instantly spit out all the boilerplate code and routine functions, which frees you up for the harder, more interesting problems. And we're not talking about a little bit of help here and there. In projects where these tools are turned on, AI is writing nearly half of all the code. And for certain languages like Java, that number can shoot up to 61%. So a massive amount of the grunt work is being offloaded. But there is a catch, and it is a big one. For all of that amazing productivity, trust in what the AI puts out is incredibly low. A ShiftMag survey found that only 3%, just 3%, of developers highly trust the accuracy of the code that AI generates. And that right there is the key thing to understand. AI is an amazing assistant, for sure, but it is absolutely not an infallible expert. So let's circle back to that big, scary question. Will AI make developers obsolete? Well, based on everything we're seeing, the answer is a pretty clear no. The best way to think about this technology is as a collaborator, a super powerful new tool in your belt, not a replacement for the person wearing it. Which brings us to the real heart of the matter, the skills that are uniquely, and I mean irreplaceably human, the things that AI just can't do. Software development is so much more than just typing code into an editor. It's about creative problem solving. It's about understanding the why behind a feature. It's about working with a team, leading, and making tough judgment calls. These are the areas where human developers don't just do a better job, they are absolutely essential. I really love this analogy. You can think of an AI as a paint-by-numbers kit. You give it a pattern, and it can fill in all the blanks perfectly. It's technically very good, no doubt, but only a human artist can stare at a blank canvas and have that spark of vision to create a masterpiece. That's the real difference between just generating code and true innovation. Or hey, let's put it another way. The AI can go out and get you the best ingredients in the world, the algorithms, the functions, all the code snippets. But you're the chef. You're the one who designs the recipe, who balances the flavors, and who creates that final dish that people will actually love. The vision belongs to you. The team at GitHub has a really great way of looking at this whole relationship. They say AI is like an eager junior developer. It's super productive, right? But it just doesn't have the experience or the judgment. It absolutely needs that review and guidance from a senior human engineer to make sure the final product is secure, reliable, and actually correct. Okay, so we know AI isn't replacing us, but it is for sure changing the game. And that means we have to adapt. So let's get practical. What do you actually do? Here's your roadmap to not just survive, but to really thrive in this new era. All right, here's the playbook. First, you've got to understand the tools, so upskill in the AI basics. Then you need to double down on what we humans do best, master high-level system design and sharpen those communication and leadership skills. And finally, you have to actively use the technology. Contribute to open source, treat AI as your partner, and of course, never, ever stop learning. Now, a huge part of using AI as a partner is learning this brand new skill, prompt engineering. It's basically the art and science of talking to the AI. The clearer and more specific your instructions are, the better the results you're going to get back. Mastering this is like learning how to perfectly delegate tasks to that new junior developer we were just talking about.
And this brings us to what might be the single most important takeaway from all of this. Listen closely. The threat isn't the AI itself. The real threat is ignoring it. The developers who learn how to leverage these tools are going to be so much more productive and valuable than the ones who don't. It's that simple.
You can actually see this happening in how the role itself is evolving. We're all on this trajectory. As AI takes care of more of the simple code writer tasks, the human developer gets elevated. We get to focus on being a solution architect, and then ultimately a product accelerator, someone who uses technology to solve big business problems at the highest level. So let's bring it all home. What does this all mean for the future? Let's wrap up by looking at what is honestly a really optimistic and exciting new landscape for all of us. When you boil it all down, it points to a major shift in how we think. This is not a competition. The future isn't man versus machine, it's man and machine. It's all about augmenting our human intelligence with artificial intelligence to build better software way faster. It's a partnership where each side gets to play to its strengths. This idea is just captured perfectly by the folks at BrainHub. They point out that as AI handles more of the routine stuff, our uniquely human skills, our creativity, our critical thinking, our problem solving, they don't just stay relevant, they become the most essential, the most valuable parts of the job. So I'll just leave you with this thought. Right now, at your fingertips, you have an incredibly powerful, tireless, and knowledgeable assistant. Your new AI pair programmer is ready to go, so the only question left is, what amazing things are you going to build together? Thanks for tuning in.